What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right, in the house. Let's get it. Let's get it. Market's looking good, guys. All things point to continuation. You love to see it. You love to be it. What's going on? Good mood, guys. You guys know I love Mondays. You guys know that about me. You guys know that about me. We're still sitting inside the bull pennant here on Bitcoin, guys. Jack stacked and fanny pack. Let's get it. It's going to be a good day. Either way, guys, if we come down and we retest 114K, guess what? I'm going to be loading up. If we break out to the upside and we smash through 120, guess what? I'm sitting pretty, baby. Either way, it's a win-win. I can't lose, man. All I do is win, right? Same thing with you guys. Listen. My portfolio, again, this morning hit a brand new all-time high for this cycle. If you are still massively in the red, you are not buying the right projects. Get over to the Patreon and we will help you structure your portfolio properly. We got some super chats to get into. Cody with the super chat. Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. There she is. Gamma Goddess in the house. Happy Monday. Money Monday, Rob. And fam, DCA, and enjoy your day. Can I get an amen to that? Absolutely. Guys, I'm jack stacked and fanny packed. I'm excited, and I just can't hide it. Amazing Coins. What's up, man? Hey, Rob. Let's go ZEBEC to the moon. Appreciate everything you do for us. Hey, I got the fries that'll cross your eyes, brother. You know me. You know me. K Lily with the super sticker. I appreciate you, K Lily. You've been with me a long time now, too, Lily. Absolutely. Fantastic. You're very, very quiet over on the Patreon, though. You're very, very quiet. I haven't seen you say anything in a long time over there. So, but yes, thank you. Thank you, Lily, so much. I appreciate you. All right, guys, let's get into the chat a little more. That's the super sticker, super chats. Let's go. It's a good week, guys. It's going to be a good week. I'm excited. You're excited. We've been waiting for this time frame for years, guys. This is it. This is the final. What do we got? We got 10 days left of July. So we got August, September, October, November, 4 months and 10 days. That's all you have left. Patience, consistency, discipline. That's it. 4 months and 10 days of discipline for financial freedom. Do you have what it takes? That's the question on everybody's mind. And just because we're in such a good mood today, you're being gifted memberships by D's Nuts, right? So everyone, give a big thank you and appreciation to D's Nuts if you received a membership. Thank you so much, D's Nuts. It's absolutely awesome to have you here. I love your name. I absolutely love it. You make it fun every single time. Every single time. What is going on out there, guys? All right, let's get into it. Let's get going. We got lots to cover. We got all kinds of things. We got the shakes that'll make you quake. Blah is in the house. William, I see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Jake the Snake. Roberto. I love how contrarian ZEBEC always is. It's going to be one hell of a ride using that inverse correlation. Can I get an amen to that, brother? Absolutely. Hybrid Dad, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? Crypto Nerd, where is the countdown? Countdown should have been on your screen. Hopefully you guys saw it. WF Capital in the house. Spuds, my guy, my dude, what's going on? Ron in the green, can't wait to touch grass daily with no worries. Hit that like. What do we got? 259 people watching, 73 likes. Guys, absolutely wreck the like button. Do a brother a favor. It's absolutely free. EZ says ZEBEC to 96K. Imagine. Holy, I'd be a quadrillionaire. I'd have to make up a word for how much money I would have. ZEBEC and Algo, let's go. I will be talking about ZEBEC and Algorand later today, guys. Do not miss out on that. Devin, your boy with the super chat. Absolutely. Strawberry Dragon dropping that chatter. What's going on? I learned so much following you since January. It's been the most amazing roller coaster ride. Can't thank you enough. Why? Gotta thank you enough for being here with me on this journey, guys. Because listen, if you guys weren't on this roller coaster with me, it would be kind of boring without you, right? And I would just be some weird dude talking to himself on the internet. Let's be honest here. So thank you so much for being with me through this adventure, guys. What else do we have? Where were we here? H. Barbarina in the house. What's going on, man? EB, a 25% pump considered parabolic. There's always that guy, right? There's always that guy. And now we know who that guy is, right? Guys, make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Costs you absolutely nothing at all. Like I said before, help us out. What do we got? Let's check in on the likes again. Let's check in on the likes again. We got 277 people watching, and we got 88 likes. Let's get it, guys. Let's get to 200 likes. Smash it, whack it, crack it. Do what you got to do. Help a brother out. Beebs, my dude. What's up, man? Another local. ZEBEC about to put on a show at BTC. Retest 114K. Buckle up, weirdos. Absolutely. Twitch. Meanwhile, Miria's in the pooper. Good day to DCA. Absolutely. Miria, one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Caspa announced the launch of smart contracts on August 31st, and Caspa is up 16.5% as a result. I will be talking about that one over on Crypto Blueprint later today as well. So stay tuned for that. John, what's up, crypto fam? Patreon is so great. Learning so much. Love you all. God is great. Rob is good. And people are crazy. That's a good song. That's a good song. Ari, what's going on? Hope everyone is having a good start to their week. Absolutely. Guys, you know I love Mondays. I'm always jack-stacked and fanny-packed on Mondays. Fast Freddy's in the house. ZEBEC to the moon. Crypto Big Dog. Yes, Rob, you think ZEBEC keeps going and breaks this 204 wall? Big things popping, little things stopping. Let's go have a look at ZEBEC's chart and let's have a looky-loo. Let's have a looky-loo. All right, so nice textbook breakout here on a ZEBEC's chart. Real key resistance is going to be up here, in my opinion, at 2042. That's where you're really going to meet some static, in my opinion. So keep an eye on that. A nice move either way, guys. Shane, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Paul, I see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. A guy is in the house. Mr. Ambitious, good evening. Good evening. 85 cash. I'm up 40% on Rob's gem. Thanks, Rob. Hey, absolutely. Here's the thing, guys. If you were watching yesterday and you did not join the Patreon, guys, listen. The last 2 days, we dropped a 100x microcap gem over on the Patreon. It is up 200%. So to save yourself the cost of a cup of coffee every day, you lost out on a 200% pump to the upside. That is why it makes perfect logical sense to get over to the Patreon. It is not too late to get in early on this project that we dropped, guys. We're dropping microcap gems like we're dropping Tic Tacs over there, okay? Get over to the Patreon. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. You missed out on a 200% pump because you didn't want to spend a cup of coffee every day. Come on, think logically here, guys, right? How you doing, Rob? I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Do you think we break all-time high? Thanks again for all you do for the community. Hey, absolutely, man. Yes, soon enough we will break into all-time high. Soon enough, my friend. Rip R, what's going on? I fully respect ZEBEC is going to do some shocking upward movements. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Big Botto in the house. ZEBEC on fire. Yesterday's gem was God Candle. Y'all missing out if you ain't on the Patreon. Yeah, like I said, guys, listen, the proof is in the pudding, right? I told you guys we were dropping a microcap gem on the Patreon. If you didn't join, you missed out on a 200% pump, right? Think about that for a second. Less than a cup of coffee, guys. Seriously, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, where are we? What else do we have? Lily says, I drive a lot for work. Oh, well, hopefully you're listening while you're driving. Hopefully we can keep you entertained. That would be fantastic. What do we got? BK Sal, hey, brother, portfolio is finally green, 10% up. And my biggest bag, Swift, is down the most. Good DCA, or should I beef up? Yeah, that would be a good DCA on Swift coin for sure. For sure. Yes, I dig that move. I dig it. David, let's go. ZEBEC, absolutely, man. Angelo, I'm up 9x on my portfolio since the bottom. I'm not worried. It's not a lot compared to other people, but I'll have 5 zeros waiting. Hey, you know what, man? Your portfolio against anybody else's doesn't matter, brother. Exactly. The goal is to make you life-changing wealth, and that's what we're going to do, man. Dennis, love you, ZEBEC. Absolutely, man. Jared, what's going on, buddy? I see you, Jake the Snake. It's the final countdown. Leo, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Fridge, my dude. What's up, man? Alex, Rob, do you have just cheeseburgers? I got these cheeseburgers, man. Beebs, make sure everyone hodls these nuts. Absolutely. Another local fear hunted ZEBEC last week. Yes, thanks, Rob, for the mental fortitude you have coached our community. Hey, absolutely, man. Yeah, I was telling everybody to buy it while everyone was fudding it, and here we go. We are Pump City. 253 ZEBEC for $1. There you go. You can't go wrong. The math is mathing. Oh, gee, can you tell us a good news about Nadix? There is no good news about Nadix. There is no updates. I don't know why. Like I'm getting every once in a while I get somebody who's like, "You're not talking about Nadix." Guys, I talk about things when there's news to talk about. I can't just make shit up about it, right? If there's nothing to talk about when it comes to the project, I got nothing, right? I need an update. I need news to tell you, right? Crypto, good afternoon. Rob just snagged another Miria. There you go, man. Last call sale. Let's go over the top. I see you, buddy. Jake the Snake. ZEBEC to $1. I wish. Happy Monday, Joy. Good to see you. Hit the likes, everyone. Absolutely. Strawberry Dragon says, love these nuts. Absolutely. ZEBEC community is growing and growing. Only good people. Great for Holland. There you go. Exactly. We hit 75K holders the other day on ZEBEC as well. BK Sal, thanks, man. Always appreciate your input. 100%, man. I got your back. P Money, Rob, what's a super cycle? Here you're talking about it. The super cycle is a myth. It's a fugazi, right? It's an old wives' tale. It's something it's a concept that content creators put out there at this time of the cycle for clicks, right? It's their way of baiting in new people in crypto to watch their videos, and then nothing, and then we don't get a super cycle, and then all of the people who are new end up getting wrecked because of the content creators telling them super cycle, and because they hold too long, they don't sell, they don't take profits. Guys, listen, I've been talking about this the last 2 days, and this is a message you need to understand, especially if you are new to crypto. This is not fear-mongering, okay? This is simple math, simple basic math, okay? For 5 to 10% of crypto investors to truly make life-changing wealth, 90 to 95% of the other investors have to lose money, right? People think that this is some sort of fear-mongering statement or something. This is straight facts, okay? For every winner in crypto, there has to be a loser. Whenever you hear about some person who made $8 million on a meme coin, right? They don't tell you about the millions of people who lost money on that meme coin for that one person to make $8 million. You don't hear about those people, but those are the facts, right? That's the elephant in the room that people don't want to address. So for 5 to 10% of people in crypto to truly make life-changing wealth, we're talking millions of dollars, 90 to 95% of people in crypto have to lose, right? Now that's a sad, sad thing. However, it is what it is. Everyone knows the game they signed up to play, right? So in saying that, if you are trying to navigate this space by yourself with no experience, just percentage odds, what are the chances that you're going to be good enough with no experience and no training and no knowledge that you're going to be one of the 5 to 10% of people who truly succeed in the space versus the 90 to 95% of people who lose, right? Why do those 90 to 95% of people lose? Well, there's a variety of reasons. One of which is content creators telling them that there's going to be a super cycle and that they should hold longer than they should, right? In 2021, so many people got destroyed because people like BitBoy and Wendy O and Altcoin Daily and Cryptos R Us and Lark Davis were telling everybody that 2022 was going to be a bigger bull run than 2021 because of this metric and this and that, right? All these macroeconomic factors were going to play in, and it was going to be a super cycle. And guess what? Everyone who believed them got destroyed, right? And it's happening again right now. You're seeing the same people that were saying it in 2021 are saying it again now. Super cycle. Lark Davis just announced it yesterday. I saw his video, and he was calling for a super cycle. He was calling for like another 5 years of bull run or something, right? It's absurd, guys. Okay. So the point is, most people get wrecked because they don't know what they're doing. They trust these people who put clickbait stuff out there about super cycles, telling you what you want to hear, and then you get wrecked. And then you either leave because you feel like you got scammed and the space is BS, right? If everyone's making life-changing wealth in crypto, why is everyone not driving around in Lamborghinis? Because everyone does not make life-changing wealth in crypto. That is the ugly truth of it. If you don't know what you're doing, you will not make life-changing wealth in crypto. I'm sorry to be the guy to tell you that, okay? That's why we do things like we help people over on the Patreon. We help them devise an exit strategy and get out before everybody else does, right? So get over there, guys. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Or be left behind. Be one of the 95% of people who don't make any money in the space, right? I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm not saying that to fearmonger, and I'm not saying it simply to promote the Patreon. I don't care if you join somebody else's Patreon that knows what they're doing. Just get educated for the love of baby Jeebus, okay? Get an education in the space. We charge less than a cup of coffee a day, for crying out loud, right? Is the price of a cup of coffee a day not worth life-changing wealth? Did you think making millions of dollars was going to be easy? What in your life has ever been that easy? Right? Let's be honest here. Let's just cut through the crap cake. The stuff that people don't want to talk about, right? Get the help that you need. Get over to the Patreon. It's a cup of coffee a day, guys. Let's help you get out of this exit, get your exit price point in place so you can leave the market before everybody else. It's that simple, right? What do we got? Kevin, my portfolio all-time high today. Thanks, Rob. Let's make that money. ZEBEC to the moon. Hey, I got the fries that'll cross your eyes, brother. Thank you so much for having my back, dude. Thank you for that. What else do we have? Beebs, everything is green in my portfolio. We just started this trade. Absolutely. Yao Nation, love this community. Can I get an amen to that, man? David with a Y, good news. Got off the phone with my Coinbase support, and the XLM I sent without a tag will be received. Nice. My guy, congratulations. I'm happy to hear that, brother. I'm happy to hear that. It's player versus player at the end of the day. Absolutely. That's the point I'm trying to get across. And these Rudy Tooty YouTubers, they're out there, telling you that everything's sunshine and rainbows and that everyone's going to win together. No, we're not, right? You're either going to be part of a community that's going to succeed, or you're going to be part of a community with a YouTuber or something that only cares about themselves, right? So for us personally, we've helped 43 people this year alone on the Patreon hit 7-figure portfolios. We give a crap about our community, right? Strawberry Dragon, my husband just texted me and said his coworkers are counting on 1,000x returns on their XRP and Doge purchases they bought. $100. See, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly, Strawberry Dragon. There's so many people out there that are delusional and are being misled. You're not getting 1,000x on your XRP or Dogecoin with $100. But people out there believe that stuff. Help me help you, right? Help me help you. Jared, that sounds like a t-shirt, Rob. We are the 5%. We the ones. You the twos. Exactly. Savvy, what's up, man? Maybe you answered this already, but how high do you see ZEBEC going? I can see ZEBEC hitting, will it break half a cent? Oh, yeah, ZEBEC's going to be, I mean, I could see ZEBEC hitting on the low end, 5 cents. I could see it hitting 5 to 10, though. Or, sorry, 8 to 10. What do we got? What do we got? Fang, welcome to the family, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the community. It's good to have you, my friend. It is good to have you. P Money, thanks, Rob, for your answer. Hey, no problem, man. How's TARS AI looking? How is TARS AI looking? How is TARS AI looking? It is... let's clean it up, first of all. You know what this looks like to me? This looks like, was it Onyx Coin's chart? What chart was it? Just like you got this big run up, and then you've got this massive downward channel, right? Which project was this again? Was it XCN? Yeah, look at XCN did the same thing, right? Like it had this big breakup, and then it had this weird choppy kind of sideways, right? And now it's starting to try to break to the upside here. It's in a bull pennant right now. So yeah, TARS AI is looking good. I like the structure. This is going to have a nice break to the upside. Nice break to the upside. You got a bit of a double bottom. So TARS AI is looking good, man. FPF says it's facts. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Mike, the word is the elite and the Bitcoin maxis made up the super cycle so that everyone who believes it will become a bag holder. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Rob named names. Yeah, I tend not to, but hey. Danny, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. ZEBEC, you've got the touch. You've got the power. Super Danielson price of Sands and Chaos. What's going on, Martis? Good to see you, buddy. AF, happy Monday, guys. Smash the like button. Absolutely. PvP is right, man. Kevin, hey, Jake the Snake, what's going on? Hey, Rob, do we get a hard Jasmy rejection from 202? It depends on what Ethereum is doing, to be honest with you. If Ethereum continues its move to the upside, let's go look at Ethereum. Like, look at Ethereum, guys. She's climbing, baby. She's climbing. We got to get this really, we need a God candle on Ethereum. We've had a lot of good green candles, but we need like a massive God candle on Ethereum. And altcoins are going to follow suit, in my opinion. So, John, blessings, my friend. Thank you so much. Smash the like button. Can you please look at Crow? Of course I can, man. Of course I can. For you, my friend. Let's look at Crow. Look at that beast mode breakout. Holy samoly. Yes, Crow's looking good, but Crow needs to cool off a little bit now, man. It definitely needs to cool off a little bit here. So what I wouldn't be surprised to see on Crow, my friend, is a little bit of like a little bit of a bull pennant here. Maybe consolidate for another few days, maybe another 4 or 5 days of consolidation before it makes its next leg up. And yes, Crow is looking, holy smokes, look at that move on Crow, man. Absolutely beautiful. Congratulations on that, but it's not done. It's not done, my friend. So yeah, I don't mean, I think it's going to consolidate in a bull pennant and then break up again. So everything is, guys, everything. What else do we have? Let's see if I can catch up in the chat here. See if I can catch up in the chat a little bit. Tyler, what's up? Patreon fam bam. Isn't awesome how you could be thousands negative one day and wake up the next day be thousands up. Yeah, that is pretty crazy, man. Overcome, what's going on, man? Salamander, I see you. ZEBEC to list on Binance. Yes, that's the rumor, man. That is the rumor. Matt with the super sticker. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Always here supporting the channel, Matt. That is absolutely amazing, my friend. Absolutely amazing. Beebs, Lightning versus the Leafs with profits intact. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I was looking. I think that the Leafs are down in Florida in February, so maybe that's when we should plan, right? I'm going to come down there probably for that tour of Florida down in like February. So how does Velo look? Could we see 25 cents? Velo is a phenomenal project, right? I don't even need to look at the chart to tell you that Velo is going to do fantastic, man. Look at that. Look at that perfect bounce. And boom. Absolutely phenomenal bounce there. Same thing as Crow right now, though, guys. We may see a little bit of consolidation for a couple of days in these. They kind of have, you know, the potential for a bit of a bull panic to form before breaking higher. It does need a little bit of a cool off. You've got some resistance mostly right around 2 cents 0.55, right? In this whole area, you're going to have some static. Right here, you're going to have some static right here, right? But once you break through there, you're going to have a nice move up. So I could see a little bit of consolidation, cool off a little bit, build up a little bit of strength, and then you'll smash through there, right? So yeah, Velo looks fantastic. Love it. Love Velo. Billy just got here. What's going on? Big things popping, little things stopping. CM, thank you so much, my friend. Patreon t-shirt DM from me. Wallet not working for me. Seeing if this works, my friend. Yeah, DM me your information, and I'll order you a shirt, and I will get it sent out to you, man. DM me over on the Patreon for that, though. Jerry Maguire, show me the money. There you go. Thanks for all you do, trashy. Hey, no problem, man. Raf, I joined the Patreon. I am new on the crypto world, and I'm a little confused, but I am hanging in there. Hey, we got your back, my friend. We're live every single day. If you have any questions, either ask me or one of the people in the chat. We have a lot of people in the chat, as I'm sure you've seen already. We got 8 different chat rooms. We're there to help you out, my friend. Any questions that you have, make sure you ask. We got your back. Beep sounds good. Mario, push-ups. Fast Freddy, help me help you. Yes, little Jerry Maguire there. All right, let's get into the news a little bit here, guys. We haven't even touched on any of the news. So let's get into it here. What do we have? First up, let's look at the M2. Curving to the upside here. Fantastic. I wouldn't be shocked to see the M2 make another leg up and one more high before rolling over. That would bring us to November, and that would be perfect timing. So yeah, something to pay attention to there. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute. Let's get a video going here. What do we got? The largest beneficiary of the Genius Act is Ethereum. The ETH machine chairman, Andrew Keys. Check it out, guys.
Formed entity called the Ether Machine has entered into a business combination this morning, an agreement with a special purpose acquisition company called Dynamix to go public. Purpose of all of this, creating an institutional Ethereum platform that is aimed at managing one of the largest Ethereum balance sheets out there. Joining us right now is Andrew Keys, he's co-founder and chairman of the Ether Machine. Good morning to you. This is sort of a fascinating transaction and a new fascinating public entity, if you will, that gives access to public shareholder or public investors into the Ethereum world without actually buying Ethereum directly. I want to understand sort of the mechanics and idea behind it, and then I want to dig in to how it all works.
Well, first, thank you all for having me. Appreciate being here. So I think before we even get to the Ether Machine, we should probably talk about Ethereum. Bitcoin, which you all know and love, has one asset on it, Bitcoin, that can be moved from peer to peer.
Right.
But Ethereum can tokenize any asset. And with that, we're seeing product market fit with stablecoins.
Right.
So the majority of stablecoins are being generated on top of Ethereum, and Ethereum is able to embed any type of digital asset, a bar of gold, a barrel of oil, a stock, a bond, a derivative, and then embed those into digital legal agreements. And in doing so, you're able to expedite the velocity of money. You can have employment contracts that get paid by the minute, as an example.
So, but just so I understand, let's just talk about this particular transaction. Sure. There's a blank check company, a SPAC, effectively.
Yep.
and then there's your business.
Yes, sir.
And you have something like $600+ million worth of Ethereum, which is from your own personal balance sheet that's going into this vehicle.
Correct. I wanted to lead by example. I'm not going to recommend anyone do something that I wouldn't do. And we are going to actively manage Ether for institutional and retail investors and generate the highest possible yield within.
And why would somebody invest in and buy shares in this company, which effectively could be like a micro, could I call this a micro strategy for Ethereum? I don't know if that's a fair way to, but why would I buy this company as opposed to just going off and buying Ethereum?
Great question. MicroStrategy is a buy and hold because Bitcoin doesn't have intrinsic yield to it. Ether is a productive asset. So we can generate yield by staking and participating in the decentralized financial economy.
For those who don't know what staking is, just explain it to the audience.
Staking is generating yield by securing the network and processing transactions. So in Bitcoin, you have proof of work mining, where you have hardware, real estate, and electricity that you have to spend. Ethereum doesn't need any of the hardware, real estate, and electricity, and does it much more efficiently through proof of stake. And we can generate yield intrinsically within Ether.
One of the things about a MicroStrategy, for example, is it is a levered vehicle, if you will. Will this be, quote unquote, a levered vehicle? Will you leverage up to buy more Ethereum?
We do have the ability to access the debt markets and equity markets, and that's one of the advantages to a public vehicle.
And so, again, though, go back to I could go buy some Ethereum on Coinbase if I wanted to, or I could buy shares in this new venture.
So if one were to purchase Ether, that would be like having a stock, but or the ETF right now, without access to the dividend. Ether produces yield if it's properly managed.
And that's what you call the Ether machine.
Yes. And so the ETFs right now don't generate yield because they don't enable staking. And we're able to enable staking, and we're able to do other additional risk management on top of that.
There has been some commentary, I think from Larry Fink or others, that you might start to see ETFs that actually can do some of the things you're talking about.
So we believe that they will eventually be able to enable staking, but we don't think that they'll be able to stake at full capacity. And then furthermore, they're not going to be able to participate in the active management of the decentralized financial economy. So this is Ethereum staking plus participation in the DeFi economy.
So you're an Ethereum guy. Do you own Bitcoin?
I'm not. I do not own Bitcoin.
None.
I'd rather have an iPhone than a landline.
Ooh. That's like a sick burn, the kids might say.
Fired.
But the sick burn is that Bitcoin has done a lot better than Ethereum over the last decade.
That's wrong. Ethereum has 50x Bitcoin over the last decade. If the price of Ether per Bitcoin over the last decade is materially improved. If over the last decade, since Ethereum started, you would be 50x wealthier had you owned
Because it
Ether
doesn't include the
Bitcoin.
previous 10 years. You're talking about just the last 10.
Since inception of Ether.
No, I know.
So since the Genesis block of Ethereum, if you
go from the original price.
You can't go from the original price of Bitcoin because Ether didn't exist, right? You can only fairly do it from the beginning of Ether's existence to, and the fact of the matter, because you couldn't own Ethereum before it existed, right? So the argument doesn't make sense. But he's absolutely right. Ethereum, since its conception, has outperformed Bitcoin in appreciation.
Price of Ether to where it is now, and go back to 50 cents for Bitcoin to where it is now.
Well, that's not the last 10 years.
That's what I said. It's not just.
So we can go back to maybe the origin.
The only time you could have it was since the origination of Ethereum. It's materially outperformed.
Let me ask you a different question just about the Genius Act. How much of that changes this?
So the largest beneficiary of the Genius Act is Ethereum, because the majority of stablecoins are deployed on top of Ethereum. Ethereum is experiencing power law dynamics where 90% of tokenized assets and stablecoins are deployed on Ethereum, similar to the power law dynamics of Google, where 90% of searches happen with Google, and Yahoo gets a small percentage, or Bing gets 1%.
What do you think the biggest risk is to this new business of yours and to Ethereum itself, which is to say, how much you worry about some other coin or other kind of tokenization effort competing with Ethereum?
I don't worry about that because I think that Ethereum is the only blockchain that is able to be a substrate for the decentralized global economy due to the robustness. It's the only one with multiple clients and the ability to actually handle global throughput.
Shots fired. Love to see that. What do we got? Kevin, can we get a super pump this cycle, but still end in your time frame? Yes, we will. Altcoins are going to pump so much harder than people realize in a much faster time, a much shorter time frame. So yes, Gamma Goddess, I'd rather have an iPhone than a landline. Absolutely. Shots fired. I love it. Sam, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. New jobs kept you busy, but the pay is insane. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. John, you were going to put 3K into ZEBEC, but it pumped. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's not a good day to do it today, that's for sure. I would probably wait. Maybe you'll get some sort of a correction. Maybe you'll get a good entry point. I would probably wait it out. What do we got? 500 people watching. 173 likes. Guys, let's push that up to 200. We're almost there. Do me that favor. Get us to 200. Geez, 200 likes. It's 500 people. Let's get to 200 likes. Come on. What do we got? Paul Atkins sitting at a Squawk Box today talking about the Genius Act.
Right now is SEC Chairman Paul Atkins, and we welcome him to the broadcast this morning. It was nice to see you in person at this table just a couple of weeks ago. This bill now officially in the books. How does it change things? And how does it change things for you in terms of the assets that you think are going to come into the market that you will ultimately need to regulate in the public sphere, if you will?
Well, thanks, Andrew, and it's great to see you again, and thanks for having me back here again. So I thought this is a really great watershed and thanks to the President for his leadership and Congress for getting this out and getting that bill to the President's desk for signature. I think this bill the Genius Act is focused on payment stablecoins, and so that's not really within the SEC's ambit of regulation, but it's really for the banking regulators as is appropriate. But the one great thing about this is that for the first time now, the United States government has put its stamp of approval on a very key and important, potentially very important digital asset that will, I think, help to lower costs, lower risks in the market, because we can now move towards an instantaneous almost settlement of payment versus delivery for securities, thanks to on-chain stablecoins. And that will help, I think, innovation and to really get our markets, to be the best in the world.
What's the role, therefore, of the SEC to push exchanges and all the other financial middlemen effectively to settle basically all transactions at what might be described as T0?
Yeah, well, potentially that's where we're going. Now, there are a lot of things that need to be worked out, and of course, to have some ability there to prevent fraud and in the marketplace, with respect to instantaneous settlement. Those things can be worked out as the marketplace adapts to that potential. But we've seen, and as far as now we're at T+1 settlement, and so of course, again, almost instantaneous delivery versus payment is something that people have dreamt about for many, many decades now.
I mentioned T0. That means effectively instantaneous settlement. T1 means a day, just for those, right. So we can explain it to the audience. Let me ask you a separate question. There was a report last week that has a lot of people buzzing about 401k plans and the possibility of including private companies meaningfully inside of 401k plans. And therefore, what that does to even your job, because historically, one of the reasons that private companies have not been in these plans is that they don't have the same kind of disclosure requirements that a public company does.
Yeah, well, thank you, Andrew. That's a really important point. And so the private markets have really grown a lot over the last, say, 30, 40 years, where the used to be primacy of the public markets for companies, including young companies, to try to seek capital for their research and development, to build factories and develop their products. Over the last 4 decades, the private markets have burgeoned, and there's a lot of capital there that provides through venture capital, through private equity, and now private credit more recently, a lot of ability for existing companies and startup companies to tap into all of that capital. There's a big demand from investors, individual investors, to be allowed into those marketplaces. There are a few ways for them to do it now, but the SEC has made it difficult in the past. So what we want to do is work with the Department of Labor, and obviously at the president's direction, if and when an executive order comes for that. But regardless, we can work with the Department of Labor to help to have good guardrails for people to offer through various products that are registered for individual investors to put into their retirement plans. For long-term investment, we have to remember that these private funds we have issues regarding valuation, issues regarding liquidity, issues regarding fees, and that sort of thing. So we need to make it so that individual investors are relying on fiduciaries to help them put these sorts of products, if they wish, into their long-term savings and retirement plans, but to have appropriate guardrails around all of that so that people are not hurt in the process.
Philosophical, maybe practical question. If we go down this road, and by the way, there are some mutual funds already that have access or allow public shareholders or public investors to have access to private investments, for example, does that mean we think that there'll be companies that will stay private for even longer? That's been an issue I know that you've thought about, because I think you want more and more companies to be able to go public. Or does a public and private company and what they look like and the disclosures around them almost converge in some kind of way long term?
Great point. And so who knows? But the thing that I do know is that over the last, say, 30, 40 years, the costs and headaches of being a public company have grown. And the amount of capital on the private side has grown as well, obviously, and searching for good investments. So what I want to do is kind of level that playing field. The public markets, we need to rejuvenate them. I said on last time we were together, I'd like to make IPOs great again. And so we need to do that through addressing issues like excessive disclosure. There's so much detail out there that I think that we can make much more rational litigation issues that scare people away from the public markets, and then finally governance issues as well. And so we can address those things through our regulatory power at the SEC to try to right size this sort of marketplace.
The other question revolves around liquidity, which is to say that private investments historically have not been liquid. There is this sort of effort to create these semi-liquid instruments. We've talked about BREIT being probably the biggest of them. It's a real estate investment fund, effectively, that's run by Blackstone. Has a semi-liquid piece of it. There was a period of time where it wasn't actually as liquid as it should be. My question is, if you're 20 or 25 years old and you get to own something for 20 or 30 years, you don't need it to be liquid. But by the time you get to retirement, boy, do you need that liquidity. And so if you get to a period of time where, for whatever reason, things aren't liquid, what do? And do you create this almost secondary or tertiary market where people are basically liquidating different investments to create that liquidity? Is that a good or bad thing?
Yeah, well, I think that's a good point, and all these issues need to be worked out. And so the one thing, if there are various types of funds, some geared for investors to hit their retirement age or to plan for the future according to various decades of their lives, and then to be able to pass down some of these assets perhaps to the next generation. So through those, working, I think, with the people in the marketplaces, they develop ideas for other sorts of funds to come forth. I think they will answer that demand in the marketplace to help solve that liquidity issue. But that is one of the key things. So obviously, you should not invest in a private equity fund just for overnight or short-term type of investment. It's much more of a longer time, and then hopefully it pans out. So, but diversification is key, and that's one thing I think in the retail markets, between diversification and addressing fees and addressing the liquidity issues, we will be able to work that out.
Chairman Atkins, just wonder what you think about a lot of companies we've heard from recently that are kind of copying MicroStrategy's technique when it comes to Bitcoin. MicroStrategy was all about Bitcoin and owning that asset. There are a lot of new firms that are doing the same thing with Ethereum now. They want to be the MicroStrategy of the Ethereum realm. We've had a couple of companies that have come on this program and talked about doing that, and I know of several others as well. How do you feel about that? How do you watch it? Some of them use leverage, some of them may not. But what do you think about an area that's seen some pretty big volatility, but also some pretty big gains?
Yeah, well, so similar to Bitcoin, I mean, the SEC has stated informally more than formally that Ether is not a security, and so, but it's obviously the ETH blockchain.
Funny how Gary could never say that.
Very key component for a lot of other digital currencies. So, you know, it's up to companies to decide where they want to put their money and what sort of strategy they have. Obviously, not for me to tell them, but I think it's encouraging that these sorts of digital assets are being embraced by the marketplace, and I think that provides a good future for development and further innovation in this sector.
He's like the exact opposite of Gary Gensler, like the exact opposite. Whenever Gary was asked about Ethereum or anything like that, his answer was always, I'm not gonna talk about one specific asset. His hands would always shake. One specific asset class. You know, love it. I love having somebody in there that, you know, that knows what they're doing. It's so great. Back over to ZEBEC, looking good, guys, on the breakout. We're going to continue to track that. What do we got? We got anything else here? Wendy, good to see you. Good to see you. Hybrid Dad, the haters are watching, waiting for things you say to hold against you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. TA on Moonwell. Beebs, Rob, with regulations and laws coming into crypto, do you believe a lot of certain crypto projects will get weeded out? I remember people saying, yeah, there is this saying going around, it's been going around for years now, that 95% of or 99% of cryptos are going to go to zero and they're all going to die. It's all BS, guys, right? It's that is the kind of stuff that maxis say. Now, if you were to, from my understanding of that saying, if you were to tell me that what you're really referring to is like non-utility tokens, for example, meme coins, right? If you're talking about meme coins, then yes, okay, yeah, I would agree with that. But if you're talking about like just every crypto in general, I disagree wholeheartedly with it, guys. Listen. Web3 gaming projects, artificial intelligence projects are not going to stop developing and disappear and go to zero because Bitcoin exists. It doesn't make any sense. I've said this before, saying that 99% of utility tokens are going to go to zero because Bitcoin is like saying that I don't know, GameStop stock is going to go to zero because Amazon exists, right? You look at me and say, Rob, those are two completely different companies in two completely different industries. That doesn't make any sense. It's the same thing. Why would a Web3 gaming project stop developing and go to zero because Bitcoin? Doesn't make sense, right? There's no weight behind it. They're not in competition with each other, right? Milk Money checking in from work. Have a great one, my friend. Green tea. Squirtle's in the house. Fridge, you see they wrote up charges for Gary today? I'm going to have to look into that. That's fantastic news. Where you at, Care Bear? Nice. Gary is hugging a Care Bear. There you go. All right, guys, I have a coaching call I have to do over on the Patreon. So get over there, book yourselves into our mentorship coaching calls. Like I said, guys, we dropped a gem yesterday over on the Patreon. 200%. 200% run, guys. If you didn't do it, it's less than a cup of coffee to join the Patreon, guys. Less than a cup of coffee a day. And you could have got a 200% return just on one of our microcap gems, right? Just on one of them. Get over there. Don't be one of the 90% of the people who lose in crypto. Be one of the 10%. We are the 10%. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys later tonight. God bless.